Okay, so we've looked at the for loop, had a go at a couple of examples, simple examples so far. Here are some questions to have a think about. We're going to have a look at the answers, but I'd just like to have a think of it in turn, see if you can jot down an answer, and then we'll check to see if you got it right. So the first question one is an example for loop. How many times do you think this will print out do something? So have a think about it. Write down an answer and we'll move on to question 2. You can pause the video when you need to. Question 2, slightly different. I'm not starting at 1, I'm starting at 5. How many times do you think do something will be printed out? Question 3, slightly different. Have a look at it. How many times will do something will be printed out? Again, can you have a guess what you think might happen? All the other for loops that we've looked at, they're all step 1. But step 1 is a default value. It's the assumed value. We don't have to write it in. If it's not step 1 at the end, if it's something different, you have to write it in, like I've done here. I've written in for counter equals 0 to 20 step 2. What do you think that might do? Think about how many times that do something might be displayed, might be printed out to the screen. Jot down an answer. Don't worry if you get it wrong, just have a go, have a think. Question 5, similar. What do you think? Step 10 rather than step 2. And then counter equals 5 to 0 step minus 1. Again, what do you think? How many times do you think it will be displayed? So hopefully you've had a go at all of those. You can rewind the video, have a look at the questions. So I'm going to start at question 1, and I'm going to run it and we can look at the answer. So question 1 should have been straightforward. It should loop 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times do something is printed out. Great. Now you notice I've done console.readKey and console.clear here, so it's waiting for me to press a button, then it will clear the screen and then display question 2, which is quite useful. So question 2, from 5 to 7 will loop 3 times. Once when it's 5, once when it's 6, and once when it's 7. So 3 times. So if you've got them wrong at the moment, you might want to have a quick look back at the other questions, see if you can revise your answers based on what you've just worked out. So let me just go down here, get the next few questions on the screen. So question 3 is from 5 to 5. What do you think? Once, when counter is 5. Not much of a loop, is it? It's only doing something once. But just to show you that, just to make sure that you're calculating these correctly. The next one is slightly different. Step 2. Now, well, let's have a look at the answer and then explain it. So if I press the button, it's going to show me the answer to question 4, and this is looped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. You might have got 10 if you didn't notice the 0 here. The step 2 means instead of incrementing by 1 each time, we're adding 2. So the first time counter is 0 and it prints it out. But we don't when we get to next add 1, because it's step 2. We add 2. So 0 becomes 2. Then 4, then 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 and 20, which makes 11 times. So 11 printouts, 11 times it's printed out. So bearing that in mind, the step is how much we increment each time. What about question 5? How many times? 3. Once when it's 0, then we add 10. So next time it will be 10, next time it will be 20, so it's doing it 3 times. Once when counter is 0, once when counter is 10, and once when counter is 20, 3 times. And the final question, let me bring it up there so you can see it. The final question is a little bit different. It's from 5 to 0, step minus 1. How many times did you get? It does it 6 times. This time counter starts with the value of 5, but instead of going up each time by 1 or 2 or 10 or whatever we want, it's going down by, or it's adding minus 1, so it's going down by 1. So the first time round it's 5, then it's 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, then 0, and then finish. So that's 6 times it's looping. I hope you got some of them right, particularly the ones at the top. I would hope at least that you got this one right. If you're getting the ones towards the bottom, 4, 5, 6 wrong, it's worth just having a play with the for loop. Just have a go. You don't need to worry about really what's going on. Just do the console.readline, do something, but practice. It's very important that you understand how to use for loops. So you need to have a go at that now. Make sure that you've got this and you're happy with it before you move on to other types of loops.